Hey guys, good morning, good evening, and good night. Um, Welcome to my channel. And today we are going to be uh, doing part three of looking of my own comic books that I made from my Christian perspective. And and also, if you want context to this video, go watch the last two parts and then come to this one. But if you already watched these two videos, I'm going to go through them and pick out the Christian themes and the stories and it. So last time we did Devil Prince, and now we're doing Cool Guy Legend of the Mars Mutant. So Cool Guy is as you can see here, the art has improved from the last comics because I really wanted to give all the characters whole bodies because I could not stand just writing them as drawing them as stick figures. So yeah, we now all the superheroes and supervillains are not have whole bodies. They still don't have noses because I kind of want to keep that Diary of a Wimpy Kid esque art style. But like, yeah. Anyways, let's read. So we begin on Mars, where Devil King is conducting an experiment with the Martians, where he's using space steel, Cool Guy's weakness, to create a serum that could give him space steel based superpowers. However, the serum is too unstable, so they decided to give it to somebody that isn't evil. So they give it to this innocent Martian named Matt, and they inject the thing into Matt, and Matt transforms into the Mars mutant. Then on Earth, Cool Guy is flying around the city because he just got back from space, and he just rescued his crush Carly from villains in space, so that's good. And then he stops a bank robbery and from two supervillains, so that's good. And then we're here, and then it's all like a regular superhero show. It's cool but cliche, but like it's cool still. Then Craig is like walking through the hallways. He bumps into Carly, and he angers Brick, her brother, because Brick always bullies Craig, and he doesn't like him crushing on his sister, so there's that kind of drama. And as Brick is about to hurt Craig more, Jake comes back, and of course Craig is happy that Jake is back because Jake is ninja and he was on his own adventure. Um, so yeah, then later on in the day, Craig is sitting on the by building and talking to his dad, and when he's finished, he hears a sound, and a Martian spaceship has landed on Earth. The police check it out, and it turns out to be the Mars mutant. Rawr. So they try shooting him, but they can't because he has space steel powers. And as Mars mutant is about to kill the police officers, Cool Guy comes to stop him, and Cool Guy tries to shoot a laser at his sword. However, it doesn't work, and the and Cool Guy discovers that his weapons are made of space steel. But not only that, he's full of space steel. So he punches Cool Guy in the face and the stomach, which causes Cool Guy to have these metallic scars that kind of similar to how when Superman is infected by kryptonite, he has like these green veins. Yeah. For explanation, the spaceship was created by a villain named Darkstar. He used dark magic to take steel in space and turn it into space steel. So yeah, that, and it affects it affects Mohakians or people with Mohakian powers. And Craig is a human being that got hit by an asteroid that had Mohakian power. So yeah. So as he's fighting, so as Kuga is getting his butt kicked by Mars Mutant, Ninja comes to save him with a flaming sai, and he poofs out of there. So then he brings Craig to his house, and the whole event is on the news, and Craig wants to, stop the Mars Mutant for obvious reasons. However, Sensei Kai and Jake tell him not to because it's dangerous and because it's the space steel, so he doesn't. And then back at the Fame Manor, by the way, Kali is a part of a rich family called the Fame family. I know, ironic. Anyways, Brick is telling Kali that he doesn't want him talking to Craig, and that's kind of unfortunate to Kali because she actually likes Craig back. So yeah, and then a week later we see Mars Mutant in the junkyard, and Blind Bull comes to see him, and apparently Mars Mutant is slowly reverting back to Matt, so and he doesn't want to hunt down Kuga anymore. So Blind Bull injects him with more space steel, and he's super powered up. And then meanwhile in the school cafeteria, Craig is having lunch with Jake, and Jake is trying to get Craig to ask Kali out. However, Craig doesn't want to, so Jake gives him a harsh pep talk, and Craig goes for it. So Craig later goes to try and ask Kali out. However, Brick catches him and makes fun of him in front of all his classmates, and then Jake instigates the situation, leading to an argument between Brick and Craig, and then Brick makes fun of his family, and that this makes Craig angry, so of course he punches Brick in the face. And Brick is hypocritically sobbing, and Craig is like, "What have I done?" So the principal calls the parents, and then both of the boys get detention. So while they're in detention, Mr. Owl comes to try and look after them, and then suddenly the Mars Mutant comes and tries to find out where Cool Guy is, because his space steel powers can sense where Cool Guy's DNA is. So Craig has no choice but to turn into Cool Guy. And then there's a scene where Kali and Jake are talking outside, asking where Craig is, and then they overhear Mars Mutants attacking Brick, and then Cool Guy comes to save Brick, and Cool Guy and Mars Mutant end up fighting again, and of course the space steel stuff. And then he not only slices him, and he also kicks him in the face and takes two of his arms, breaks and twists them, and basically stretching him out. And it's basically, this is probably the most violent image I've ever drawn in any of my comics. Maybe not most violent because people have died in my comics before, but like this is pretty messed up. I mean, bro's just a teenage superhero being having his doomsday moment, and then as Craig is being hurt by Mars Mutant, Ninja brings a water fist up and floods away Mars Mutant, causing him to his mask to come off, and then Kali sees his that Craig is Cool Guy. Then sometime later, Craig Craig is having a dream where he's attacked by Devil King, Leon, Shaper, General Remote, and Darkstar. And as he's being attacked by his 5 villains, Cool Guy's about to stand up to them until he gets punched out by Mars Mutant and almost killed. But of course, like I said, it's a dream. So then he sees Carly, and Carly knows that that he's Cool Guy, and surprisingly, she's okay with it. So yeah, unlike most superhero media, you see with the love interest is mad that the hero hid his identity. She understands secret identity, so that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then Carly takes Craig home, and then his parents see Carly. So this lead says dad basically congratulating his son, thinking his son has a girlfriend, and the mom being kind of worried, so because yeah. Then meanwhile, Jake at his house is. Meanwhile, Jake at his house is conducting some experiments on the space steel, and is conducting some experiments on the space steel, and then Sentai tells him to go to bed, and he puts the candle out. However, he uses his elemental water powers. Some of the water goes in the space steel and basically decreases it. So that's kind of foreshadowing. Then in this panel, it's revealed that the body of Mars Mutant is actually it actually has 2 minds. Matt at the space steel, and the space steel basically devours Matt and takes over the body, and Mars Mutant has a plan to fight to lure Cool Guy, and you can see like Brick's glasses here. And then back at Craig's house, Craig is visited by a student from detention, and the student named John Burns reveals that he knows that Craig is Cool Guy, and he also says that he was assigned by the Daily Laser, which is my version of the Daily Bugle and the Daily Planet, to investigate Cool Guy, and he and he found out that Craig was Cool Guy, so yeah, there's that. And John convinces Craig to be brave and and stand up to Mars Mutant once and for all, and Craig agrees. But before Craig goes to do that, Craig tries to call Carly and to confess to her. However, she answers the phone and reveals that her family got kidnapped. Yeah, so. And then back at the Fretbusters base, Commander has to talk with his agents on how to defeat the Mars Mutant until they see Mars Mutant outside with the Fame family. So yeah, they try to stop him. That Cool Guy comes to save them, and he sees Blind Ball there too, and Blind Ball reveals to Cool Guy that Matt is the Mars Mutant, even though we as the audience know their split personalities. And they're back at Jake's house. Jake discovers how the thing decreased, how the space decreased, and Sensei Kai tells him that Mars Mutant has 2 minds. So now Ninja has a clue of what's going on. So then Craig is getting his butt kicked by Mars Mutant. So Craig has to increase his fighting abilities, and it's pretty intense. Then Carly sneaks into the base and tries to let go her family. And then Carly tries to punch Mars Mutant. it tries to punch Blind Ball. However, it's revealed that Blind Ball is a cybernetic guy, which is really no surprise considering he's literally a cyborg. So yeah. Um. So yeah, and then as Cool Guy is fighting Mars Mutant, Cool Guy discovers that he can form force fields around his gauntlet. So he uses that to punch out Mars Mutant. And as he's about to do the finishing blow, he sees Blind Ball holding up Carly, and Craig tries to stop him, but of course he gets stomped by Mars Mutant, and then Mars Mutant is thrown away by Jake, and then Jake helps Cool Guy. And Craig is like really pissed now, so like he wants to kill Mars Mutants because he thinks Matt has turned pure evil and stuff with the space steel. And Jake reveals to him how they're split personalities. So and as Jake says, he's not like Doomsday, he's like Hulk. So yeah. So Craig, happy with this revelation, takes the cure that Jake made. Jake used elemental water and elemental fire to make a cure. Craig takes it and goes to try and inject it into Mars Mutant. And as the Fretbuster agents try to fight Mars Mutant, but of course with no use. Then Craig tries to reason with Mars Mutant and says that he knows that Mars Mutant is not Matt. And as they're fighting, Ninja takes out Blind Ball and rescues the famed family. As Mars Mutant is like beating up Cool Guy and stuff, Cool Guy reminds him what he used to be. However, there's no use, and Mars Mutant stabs Cool Guy with his space steel sword in the chest. And then back at Mars, Devil King is celebrating, saying, "After all these years, I won!" Yeah, so Devil King is very wicked and stuff, saying that. And as Cool Guy is laid there dying, it's revealed that he injected Mars Mutant with the serum. So Mars Mutant slowly reverts back into Matt, and Matt sees Cool Guy's dying body. And as Carly and Jake come to him, Cool Guy tells them, "If I'm gonna die, there's no one I'd be with rather than you two." As he thinks this is the last time he's gonna see the love of his life and his best friend. But then Matt uses his healing abilities and heals Cool Guy, because Martians in my universe have healing abilities. That's an alien power. Anyways, Craig is revived, and they take up Blind Ball, and Commander Harsh arrests him. Then he tells Carly and Jake to go home, and Matt is worried that he'll be hated by his planet. But Craig has a plan to help him. So back on Mars, Devil King is basically telling the Martians how Blind Ball is arrested and Matt's a traitor, and he's literally just being a literal anti-Christ to the Martians. I mean, that kind of makes sense because he's the son of the devil, so yeah. And as he's talking, Cool Guy comes and tries to tell the Martians that their leader is a fraud. And since they don't believe them, Matt talks to them and tells them how they used to be a peaceful race until Devil King corrupted them. And as the Martians start believing, what really hits the cake is Matt tells them that Devil King hates the color green, and as such, the Martians throw out Devil King. Cool Guy punches Devil King in the face, and then they throw him out into space, and he gets sucked by a black hole. Oh gosh, I love this writing. Anyway, Cool Guy Matt thanks Cool Guy for clearing his name, and Matt has made king of the Martians. So Cool Guy leaves with the day being saved. Then the next day, Craig and Jake are talking about the events, and then John Bates comes to his house, and he thanks him for saving the day, and John offers to be Craig's version of like Commissioner Gordon. So yeah, there's that. Oh, and then Craig remembers that he has to confess his feelings to Carly. So yeah, so yeah, back in the park, Carly comes there, and he decides to tell Carly that he likes her. And of course, then Carly also says he likes her in a very sassy way, and pulls him for a kiss. and of course, Jake, Coolbot, and Dynamite and the Bush watching their friend finally achieve his goal of getting his crush. So that it ends on a happy note. Oh, and a side joke that Brooke says. Yeah, this is I think this is my second favorite book in my series. My favorite book is the Chillers, where they all teamed up. However, this is my second favorite book because the art and the story, like, I really enjoy it, and I really like it because, like, Cool Guy helped a poor Martian become good again, and he basically got the girl, so that's good. A great superhero story. Definitely had some Christian themes of redemption, with Mars Mutant, and of course, persevering, the Cool Guy, like how he confessed his feelings to Carly, so yeah, that's good. Now, we go on to the next comic. Ninja Crimerai begins. So we begin in jail, where the criminal ninjas are complaining about being in jail, and then suddenly their master, a samurai named Crimerai, comes to save them and recruit them. Then Ninja is in the city fighting crime. He also fights the pirate sharks, so that's good. I don't know how the pirate sharks are in the city, but they're there. Then Jake comes back home and tells Sensei Kai about his day, and then Sensei Kai gets a revelation that Crimerai is coming. So yeah, there's a hint that Kai might know who Crimerai is. So yeah, then Jake is by Craig's house talking until they hear the criminal ninjas driving in the streets. Jake comes to stop them, and Jake basically kicks their butts like always, because because he's the boss. Well, Jesus was the real boss, but like, you know what I mean. Anyway, as Ninja defeats them, Crimerai appears and challenges Jake to a battle. So they do that, and it's revealed that he has fire powers like Jake, water powers like Jake, but not just that. He has earth powers, air powers, lightning powers, sunlight powers, dark powers, light powers, dark powers, ice powers, and nature powers. So yeah, Crimerai is super powerful. So then Sensei Kai asks Craig to with the jail. So there's that. Then then Crimerai threatens the Jay, saying that he will always be weak unless he joins him, and of course Jake refuses, and then Sensei Kai comes and tries to get Crimerai out of the scene, and there's a hint that they might know each other. So later that day, Jake's in the uh, Jake is hurt and he wants to know where crime might come out from. So Sensei Kai tells him the story of how there used to be a bunch of elemental ninjas. The sorcery reveals how ninjas' parents get married, and then a portal ended up in the sky, and Crimerai came, and Crimerai basically slaughtered all the ninjas, and taking their powers. And then it's revealed that Ninja was part of a prophecy to control all the elements and defeat Crimerai, and it's revealed that Crimerai also killed his parents, and of course, Kai was left raise Jake, but of course he puts him up for adoption until he found the years later. So now Jake knows the story. He knows what to expect from Crimerai. And then Crimerai is talking to his ninjas, and the criminal ninjas, specifically Leon, want to kill Ninja. And of course, but Crimerai says no, and he wants Ninja to join them. So there's that. So Crimerai really wants to Ninja to join them. Kai has tried to train Ninja to control other elements, but Jake is not being very good at it. And then Kai gets a revelation that Jake might join Crimerai. So he tells Jake that he has to kill Crimerai, and Jake doesn't want to do that because, killing is wrong. So he leaves Sensei Kai out of anger and sadness. So as Ninja is swinging in the city, he's captured by a Fratbusters agent named Khan Choi, and Khan says that he wants Ninja to kill Crimerai too. So Ninja's even more pissed because it seems like everybody wants him to kill Crimerai. So yeah, there's that. And then Crimerai goes into a jail cell and lets out the pirate sharks. And so there's that. So back in Craig's house, Jake is talking to Craig how he doesn't want to kill Crimerai, and then Craig also tells Jake how he had to kill Darkstar, even though it was because Darkstar was hurting people. However, what really matters, he tells Craig what really matters is if he saves the day and keeps Crimerai away from the innocent people, so that's what matters. However, Jake gets a call from Shelia saying that she got kidnapped, so he goes and tries to save her, but Craig gets a call from the real Shelia, and Craig is wondering, wait, but who called Jake? So Jake finds himself in a warehouse, and he's knocked out by the criminal ninjas. And it's revealed that criminal ninjas have teamed up with two of the shark pirates, Shrimp and Miss Biter. And Crimerai confronts Jake and gives him the chance to try and join him. And in the meantime, he's gonna fight Sensei Kai. So as the ninjas and the pirates beat up Ninja, Kai is outside, and him and Sensei Kai start battling it out, and with elemental powers and stuff like that, and martial arts and swords, so and katanas. So yeah, there's that. And then as he as Crime Rider is trying to defeat Kai, Ninja is like totally beat up, and as the ninjas are about to leave, Jake Ninjas discovers that he mastered earth powers and air powers and escapes them, and he runs away. But then Jake sees that what one of the ninjas, Mike, is trying to strangle Shrimp, and Jake doesn't want that to happen. So he tries to, tries to fight Mike, and out of anger, Jake uses his flaming sai and stabs Mike in the chest. So this is basically Jake's first kill. Like, official kill. And the ninjas are pissed. And as Kramer is about to kill Kai, Khan Choi comes and tries to save him. However, Kramer uses his elemental powers to deflect the attack, so he's pretty strong. And as Kramer is about to defeat him, Ninja comes with a serious eyes and battles him with all his power. And it's basically like a 2-in-1 deal between two elemental masters, and then Cool Guy comes to save Jake and Kai, and as Kai lets go, and as Craig lets go Kai, Jake is fighting, finishes off Carberai with a wave, and then uses rocks to like trap him, and then Jake tries to use a katana picks up a katana, but instead of killing him, he spares him, and it's because Jake says that he doesn't want to become like him. So yeah, Jake doesn't kill Cryberai, and Cryberai escapes. And as Cryberai relieves, Khan buffs him up about letting him go, and Jake says next time he comes, there will be no mercy, like, yeah, stuff like that. So as Kai is meditating, the next day, Jake confesses that he killed Mike, and Kai is conflicted but forgives him anyways. And there's a scene where Jake actually looks up to the window and asks God for forgiveness, so I really like that part. And meanwhile, back in Japan, Cryber is talking to his ninja minions, and Leon and Donald are upset because Mike is, dead. And how Cryber says that this is an advantage because now Jake feels bad for killing Mike. So the ninjas are like happy. And then there's a secret moment with Cryber where he has all of the news articles with Ninja, and he has a computer where he's looking at Ninja. So there's that. So it's hinting at a secret. I think this book was really good. It had like it had like the consequences of sin. With Jake questioning whether or not he should kill Crymerai or not, and also Jake has to do with the consequence of dealing with how he accidentally killed Mike. And also I think Craig gave him some good advice regarding on fighting enemies. I mean, you know what? Fun fact in the Bible, there are times where Bible heroes have to like kill the enemies, but really killing at the end of killing at the end of the day is kind of bad. Like I mean, there are times where you have to defend your family or your friends through lethal ways, but I think but really it's not. But really, I think the best way to, from a Christian standpoint, is to deal with them non-lethally and hope that the enemy comes to repentance. So that's good. Though Cryberry seems a bit unrepentant, so we don't know. But hey, at least a lot of villains in my series repented, like Doc and Shaper, so that's good. I have this one comic here, Coolbot vs. Killerbot, where Coolbot is getting sued by the city. However, I never really finished it yet. This is all that I did so far. So yeah. However, I will continue with my comics, and as I increase in them, I will put more Christian themes in them and drawings. So that's good. And I'm really glad because as a Christian who enjoys superhero stories, and many fictional stories, we really need like good stories now that we live in a world where storytelling is getting worse and worse, and we need to help the industry make better stories and help their franchises. So yeah. I also have. Oh, I just want to show this for fun. I also have my own these Marvel DC comic books. One with Superman, one with Green Lantern, one with Wolverine. I might take inspiration from these. I mean, they obviously have they obviously have better art than me because they're like the big guys. However, I think I believe that I hope I could use my hobby and my passion for the glory of God and create really great comics to help this world. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.